Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? I'm Obi, and I'm coming to you all from Creative Workouts Gym. And today, the word of the week is sacrifice. So when we're talking about sacrifice, we're talking about sacrifice in regards to weight loss, in regards to building up some muscle, in regards to just getting in better shape overall. Okay, so we're gonna separate the sacrifices into two categories: good sacrifices and bad sacrifices. All right, and then also the bad sacrifices, we're gonna separate that into two further categories: permanent sacrifices and then temporary sacrifices. And when we're talking about bad sacrifices, we're going to explain what bad means. And bad in this regard means things that work against your fitness goals. So it might not be bad overall in other parts of your life, but work against your fitness goals. So that is what bad is. So let's go ahead, let's go over it. Bad sacrifices and the temporary things. So things that you need to sacrifice, you need to get rid of temporarily. Number one is vacations.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I know that's going to hurt your heart. You know those people that say we need to catch flights, not feelings? You know, people that are always looking for a vacation. That works against your fitness goals because it breaks habits. Okay, so say for example, you're exercising, you're starting to eat healthy, and then you start losing weight, you lose 5 pounds, you lose 10 pounds, and all of a sudden you gotta go on vacation. Are you gonna stay with that healthy lifestyle on vacation? You go on vacation for 1 week, are you gonna stay with that healthy lifestyle?
No,
you're not.
no.
You're gonna eat unhealthy for that 1 week. You're gonna drink, party, not exercise for that 1 week, so then you have broke that habit. And when you come back from that vacation, you're going to have to start trying to recreate that habit again. And we already know how hard it is to recreate good habits. And so that's something that you need to get rid of temporarily. Even if it's a staycation, you're going out, to another town, you're breaking good habits. When you're trying to start a good habit, you're breaking it and you're making it difficult for yourself. So that's something that you need to temporarily get rid of. Another thing that you need to temporarily get rid of is your friends. Friends are good, but some friends you need to temporarily get rid of. And even sometimes, depending on the friend, you need to permanently get rid of. But, the way that you need to temporarily get rid of your friends is in the sense of you might not be able to do the social activities, the things that bond your friendship together, especially when you're living here in Houston. What bonds a lot of people together, eating unhealthy, going out to these restaurants, going to these parties, clubbing, drinking, unhealthy lifestyles. Okay, so that's something that you have to temporarily shelve, not be so social because you're trying to break certain habits. Something that you need to temporarily get rid of also is dating. Dating, a lot of times, stops your goals because, if you're a lady, you're going out with a guy, he's going to offer you a drink, let's turn up, eat these fried foods, eat these comfort foods. These are like kind of party foods, good time foods. It's hard to live a healthy lifestyle, especially when you're trying to create healthy habits. It's very difficult to do that when you're going out on dates. Even with guys, you're offering drinks, and when you offer a drink, you're also going to be drinking along with the lady. And so that goes against your healthy lifestyle. Okay, and then another thing that you need to temporarily get rid of is just the unhealthy eating, and that's pretty much like our cheat days, like the unhealthy sugar, sweets, cakes, cookies, the unhealthy fried foods, the unhealthy sodas, alcohol, all those things you need to temporarily get rid of. And when I'm talking about temporarily get rid of, you need to get rid of it for minimum 3 months, 6 months, a year. You need to show yourself that you can control those unhealthy habits. Okay, so you're never going to permanently get rid of it because, it's not like you'll never eat a cookie again, but you need to temporarily get rid of it and take back control of your life. Those are our temporary things we need to get rid of, temporary sacrifices we need to do. Now, the permanent sacrifices we need to do are more mental. Okay, so negative thinking is something that basically is you looking at what's in front of you. You looking at your reality and just buying into your reality. In the sense of, you're like, I don't like to exercise. I'm never going to exercise. I'm never going to be able to control my diet. I just love cakes too much. That's all negative thinking. I understand why you're saying that, because that is your reality right now, but it's negative. You got to speak positively and say what you plan on doing, and you got to speak that into existence. So as far as like, I am going to control my diet. I can control this sugar eating. I'm not going to eat this unhealthy food. I am strong, even though you don't believe it. But like I've said before, if you lie to yourself enough, you will start believing it. So that thing of what you can do and what you plan on doing, the positive thinking, you don't believe it in the moment, but you've been saying negative things so much that you have developed a lifestyle of that thing. So now you start speaking positive, and you say that enough, it will change your behavior. Second bad thing that you got to permanently sacrifice is the victim mentality. You got to stop blaming other people for your problem. Even if it is their fault, you cannot have a victim mentality and a victor mentality at the same time. You got to choose one. So you might say, oh, my upbringing, my parents was always feeding me these unhealthy foods. You could say, oh, my friends are always peer pressuring me. Oh, my kids, I never have time. So you're always just kind of a victim mentality. You're always looking at things outside of yourself and not being accountable and not having a victor mentality in which you're saying, I'm going to take control and responsibility of everything that goes on in my life, no matter if something happened to me, if maybe it's not my fault, but it's my responsibility, and I am going to take responsibility of it, and I'm going to conquer it. Getting rid of that victim mentality. Victim mentality is not a conquering mentality. Okay, so you need to permanently get rid of that victim mentality. You also got to get rid of that comfort mentality. That I'm going to do what makes me feel good, and if it's just too hard, I'm not going to do it. You're looking for, to feel good all the time. You're trying to avoid discomfort all the time. You got to come to the realization is that progress comes with struggle. If you're not willing to struggle, you're never going to progress. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, you're never going to grow. And so growth comes with some level of discomfort. So you have to, it's not a life of discomfort, but it's segments of discomfort that you're going to have to deal with and conquer in order to get stronger. And so stop looking to be pampered or that mindset is never going to be a mindset to help you progress. So those are things that you need to permanently get rid of. Okay, so now let's talk about the good sacrifices. All right, the good sacrifices, and when I talk about good sacrifices, I'm talking about sacrifices that you got to make in the moment, and they might not necessarily feel good, but they are investments that will pay you back in the future, in the near future and in the farther future. It's going to pay you back. So that's why it's a sacrifice, but it's good, because it's going to ultimately benefit you. And they're permanent sacrifice. There's no temporary good sacrifice. These are things that you need to permanently put into your life. So, number one, you're going to sacrifice your time. You're going to have to sacrifice your time to exercise. You're going to have to sacrifice your time to hit the gym, to cook, to plan. Those are all things that you're going to have to sacrifice your time for. The second good sacrifice you're going to do is sacrifice your money. Okay, so when you sacrifice your money on good things, that investment is going to bring back to you. So, for example, you might need to get a personal trainer. You need to sacrifice your money with that. You might need to sacrifice your money with taking a course, maybe a health and fitness course. Sacrifice your money in going to the gym. Sacrifice your money getting some good shoes. Whatever you got to do, you're going to have to sacrifice a little money. Sometimes you might have to sacrifice a lot of money or a little money, but you're going to have to sacrifice that in order to get in shape. And sometimes the sacrifice might be, maybe I cannot work as much as I. Some people are workaholics, and all they do is work, eat, stress. You're making the money, but you're killing yourself health-wise. So you might have to sacrifice money, as in, I can't stress myself with this job as much. I might have to cut back my hours. I have my basic needs covered and I'm comfortable, but you have this materialistic mindset that you're gonna have to sacrifice. So you're gonna have to sacrifice money in that regard. And then sacrificing energy. You're gonna have to sacrifice energy as in you're gonna have to take your time and energy in order to figure out the things that you need to do. I have to get on the internet and Google things and fact check things and understand, this is what I need to be doing. Also, you're gonna have to sacrifice your energy in the sense of you can't always listen to yourself when you don't feel like doing something. Oh, I don't feel like working out. Oh, I don't feel like cooking. Oh, I feel like eating this comfort food. I'm gonna have to sacrifice that energy to do things I don't feel like doing. Also, sacrifice the energy of not being so down on yourself, picking yourself up, like that positive thinking. All right, comment on the video, like, subscribe to the channel. Holla at y'all. Be easy.